Welcome to the guest room where all the demons play. Welcome to the guest room. I'm chilling with the gang. Got space for everyone. Feel like we. Excuse me. What up? Where my tiny mic at? Hey y'all. Welcome to the guest room. What's up, you guys? So, I'm really excited for this episode. I have one of my favorite cousins that is going to be on the show. We are going to be talking about our chocolate journey. So, growing up chocolate. So, you see this melanin? You see that melanin? That's what we're going to talk about today. And all the, I guess, life, journeys through life and stuff like that. This episode is going to be super interesting because, one, we're doing something that we never done before. So, stay tuned for this fuckery. So, I'm going to ask that our, Kamani-san, can you please bring in our guest? My guest. My cousin, she's amazing. She's awesome. My cousin Tyrina. But I call her Rini, so you can't call her Rini though.
What up?
Where? Look at this fuck shit. Are you comfortable? Give me a hug.
I am. Oh, wait, am I on the right side?
Yep. Let's hug. Really quickly, I just want to let you know that she has stuff going on as well. She has a podcast and everything like that, but I'm not going to, I'm going to give her the mic and let her
I should have my own little mic here.
But go ahead.
See if you can turn up a little bit.
Hey, everybody. My name is Tyrina. I am Tracy's older cousin, but, she keeps me young. All my younger cousins keep me young. I am married, been married for 6 years this month. I have 2 kids. I have a son, he's 13. I have a little girl, she just turned 4. And I know Tracy has probably told you this before, we have a huge family. I'm originally from Philly. But I moved to Jersey when I was about 9 or 10. And so I was born in Philly, but raised in Jersey. So I'm a Jersey girl. And I'm so super excited about being on the guest room. I love it.
Hey!
We've been planning this for a while.
For a while now, y'all. We've been trying to
like Tracy said, we all had a lot going on. So I was like, let's just do it. It's time. Things are settling down. Yes, like she said, I do have a podcast. I have a podcast with my younger sister, Brittany. Our podcast is called Let's Get All the Way Into It. I'm sure Tracy will tag it at the bottom, But yeah, we have a podcast that we started toward the beginning of the year. And it's been going really good, Please follow. But basically, it's a sister podcast where we talk about dating, marriage, life, as Black women from our perspective. And since my sister is single, she gives the single perspective, and I give the married perspective about dating and life and kids and who have kids. So it's going really well. We haven't been doing it in a while just because we have a lot going on, but stay tuned. We are coming back very, very soon. But our first episode coming back will definitely be about everything that has been going on and why we haven't been, doing our podcast lately, but we're getting right back into it.
That's what's
I'm
up.
so excited. And like I said, I'm so excited about being on my cousin's podcast finally. So, let's get all the way into it.
Hey, that's your tag.
Let's get all the way into it. Being a chocolate girl and our chocolate journey.
Yes.
This is, like Tracy said, we're so excited. We've been wanting to talk about this for a while. And I feel like, people haven't really talked about their journey as a chocolate girl. I don't really see that much.
No, not at all.
Just from then to now. So let's get into it, Tracy.
Hey.
Yes,
Hey. All right, so we are going to, I'm using this damn mic today. We're going to be talking about our chocolate journeys. And that entails a lot of things. Just recently, we on the map. They want us. They want us.
I mean, we're it.
We're it now. We're it now.
The melanin. You know?
But for a while, we were not the its. So we're going to talk about when we wasn't the its, and that's what we're going to talk about. So
we had a good time.
really quickly, we're going to start with the first growing up chocolate in your family. So really quick background, in our immediate family, so like not like aunts and uncles and stuff like that, but in our family, my mom, my dad is like super light skinned, my mom is dark skinned, and all my dad's children on his side are light as fuck. So I was the only chocolate child, and I just like, you know. So, and you, go ahead.
Yeah, my mom is dark skinned. My dad, he was like, I mean, he's dark, but not as dark. I would say more brown skin.
Yeah.
But my sisters that I grew up with, the sisters that I actually grew up with, I have two other sisters too. They're chocolate. But my sisters that I grew up with, my younger sister and Arisha, Brittany and Arisha, they're fair skinned. They're lighter on the lighter side. I would say Arisha's light skin, and Brittany's a little bit darker than Arisha. So she's brown skin, light skin, like that. But,
yeah.
So yeah, growing up, you know, I had my mom. I looked exactly like my mom.
You really do.
So I grew up like my mom. I look just like my mom. So that's who I had to be like. Oh, I look just like her. Another chocolate woman. You know, I would see a couple of chocolate women on TV, but
not really.
But
right.
We're gonna get into TV and the dating and all later. But the family later, yeah, I it was just me, really.
Did you ever feel like insecure or like, why not me? Like a little bit.
I will say, growing up, I probably didn't start getting insecure until I was, maybe like high school.
Okay.
Or like college, maybe, just because, as far as the family is concerned, when my sister got older, you know, and I would see her getting like a little bit more attention, like as far as like, I don't know. I think mainly because me and my sister are really close.
Mm-hmm.
But we sounded like we look alike in some ways, but as she got older, I was like, oh, like she's getting a little bit more attention than me.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just as far as the family is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But not so much insecurity within the family, not really.
Okay.
I insecurities outside. It was more outside of the family than anything, because my family never made me feel insecure.
That's the stuff.
It was more so in my mind and with stuff outside of the family that we're going to talk about later, like dating and TV and what us seeing ourselves on TV, and you know, we want to see ourselves represented outside of our family,
right?
Because when you get into the real world, that's real life,
right?
I mean, not that your family's not real life, but
those are the people that's judging you and shit like that, right?
Yeah,
right.
They're trying to relate to or dress like and stuff like that. So
right.
It was definitely more outside of the family for me.
I'm gonna say,
was your experience?
I remember one time me going to my mom and said, I was like, Mommy, why did you marry a white man? And cause if y'all ever see my dad is very fair skinned, like,
yes, he is.
And like, you would never and I do look like him, but like, I look like my mom more. And don't tell her, she gonna see this, she be like, no.
She gonna see it.
Right. So I remember being very insecure with going to family functions on my dad's side, and me only being the only chocolate child that he had, and I told my mom I didn't want to go, and she was like, why you don't want to go? I'm like, cause they're not gonna know I'm his daughter, like, and I'm like, And she like, oh no, baby. I was like, Mom, can you go? Can you just go with me? Like, so they know.
Yeah.
They have a reference point. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. So like,
Right.
it was a insecure thing like that. But yeah. And I guess that we're gonna take it to school now. So your school experience, because
okay. Like I said, let's get into it. So we also have to take in account the time frame that I was in, like middle school. Mm-hmm. So it was like the 90s, late 90s, that I was in school. I graduated from middle school in like 99. So I was in school like 95, 96, 97, as far as like middle school. Because in elementary school, I didn't really have any, I was like too young to really.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
Mindset to be like, oh, I'm insecure, like no.
Right.
But I think middle school, you know, when I went through puberty and I saw all of these other girls that were like light skin, long hair, you know, I have really thick hair, so you know, I always wore braids, you know, those kind of styles. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but like just think about the time frame. And you know,
the micros was popping.
Yeah, micros, you know. But I had, well, my best friend in middle school, she was dark skinned like me too, so we clicked really fast. But I had a lot of other friends. I had white friends. I had light-skinned friends, light-skinned black friends. But when I got into boys, I think that's when my insecurities started to set in, because I would see that, you know, I had crushes on boys, but they didn't have crushes back for me. Like they
right.
I was a twin big. I was super skinny.
Lord.
You know, so put that on top of being dark skinned at that time. They wasn't really checking for me.
They wasn't checking for me either.
They wasn't checking for me. You know what I'm saying? And
I think the only thing that really saved me, Tyrina, was that I was funny. And I used to always get, oh, you cool as shit.
Right.
Like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I'm not cool enough to, like, fuck with for real. Like, you're not really checking for the trace.
If I wasn't funny, I wouldn't be.
Right. And I had one of my my friends, right? Because we had a really, really good relationship. But after a while, it was like, I started, like, actually liking him. And he told me, he used to constantly tell me, I can't date you because you're dark skinned. I don't like dark skinned girls.
Wow.
And he used to say it all the time, and I had such a complex about it for a while. Until I came into like, yeah, like
that's deep.
And like I would
come out and say that.
Yeah.
I never had that experience as far as someone actually saying I don't date dark skin. Mine was more so because I was so small. But wow, I'm so sorry that you went through that.
No, like at the time, that's the thing. I didn't even like. I wasn't really processing it. Like, oh, it's just his preference, or like, you know, whatever. But now I see it.
How old were you at the time?
I want to say like 16, like around that time.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I'm thinking I'm like, oh, like, okay, like, why are you acting like that? I've been down for you for so long, and
right.
I see you in these relationships, and they not fucking not fucking nothing. So, you know, and then on top of that, it was, and just to be honest or whatever, keeping it all the way, getting into it, you know, and but I was cool enough and chill enough to fuck, but you wasn't trying to.
That part.
It was like, oh, but dating you, nah, I can't. And I was like, what the hell, like. And that was the crazy thing about it, and that's kind of where this, like, I guess this segues into dating as well.
That's what I was gonna say, because you know,
how's your dating experience? I guess then and then now too.
I mean, I don't even count my middle school boyfriend. He was,
fuck them.
You know, he was mixed with white and Spanish.
I fucking remember him.
Yeah. But I feel like my first major boyfriend, like serious relationship, was definitely high school, and he wasn't light skinned. He was the darker complexion. I wouldn't say like exactly my complexion, but he was more so in the middle of like dark skin, and
I would say he was like Kamari's complexion.
Yeah, that complexion.
Yep.
And so, you know, he was really my first true love, and but you know, after high school we broke up. I went to college and stuff like that. So I didn't really have a solid dating life until college and after college, right? So by what you just said about, oh, you know, I'm good enough to have sex with, but I can't, you don't want me to be your girlfriend. I had quite a few of those kind of you know, situations. I mean, they wouldn't say it, but I would want relationships with them, and it would just, as my brain matured, because you know you're still growing as a teenager in college, and not even really in a full adult until you graduate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Not even then, damn it.
Not even then, child.
Shit.
You're still growing, but you know, as far as my maturity to really realize that, I didn't really realize that until after college. And you know, I got pregnant with my son after college. The same year I graduated is the same year I got pregnant. And I think after that, like my dating after my son really put things into perspective as far as like my complexion and who I attract and who I'm attracted to and stuff like that. So you know, as you grow up and mature, who you're into, you know, is a maturity thing too. Like as far as type, right? So dating as a chocolate girl, I think after I had my son, we was it. Like my son was born in 2008.
Right.
I think in the 2000s is really when we were
2009.
Look. I mean, I know we're talking about dating right now, but I just need to plug in the fact of also social media came out at that time when I really started.
That's different.
My son was really dating seriously.
Yeah.
So social media played a major part in the whole dating world too, because that's how our generation really meets people, with social media. So my dating life, you know, after I had my son was in part because of social media, in part, you know, just meeting people, going out and stuff like that too. But as a chocolate girl, I feel like I did. But it's kind of sad in a way. I got more confidence from seeing us on social media and seeing more models that look like us. Like we had, you know, a sprinkle of dark skinned models.
Yeah.
Right? But we wasn't really it. Like we really was put on the map. Like once social media came out, and you would see more of us on TV and stuff like that. Like we were just it, and I really feel like that definitely helped boost my confidence. You know, as a Black woman, but also as a chocolate girl. You know, we have to. It's sad to say, but it's easier when we see us everywhere.
Right.
Being not so much that I didn't see dark skinned people when we were out and like in our family, like our aunts and stuff. But I feel like once we were put on like with modeling and TV and stuff like that, you know, we were like the trend.
But you know what, Tyrina too, and I just now peeping this, but nobody on the Dunbar side is really dark skinned.
No, but they're not all light skinned though.
Yeah, but like that was the
like,
thing. Like I never went to them about feeling insecure about being chocolate because nobody could relate besides my mom and your mom. And you like, and they look alike too. Yeah.
We didn't even really get to plug that in. So like,
yeah, we
me
did.
and Tracy, we go way back.
Yeah.
Like, we got cousins. Our family is big, but we lived together.
Yeah.
Like our Aunt Bunny, we grew up in Philly together. We
Yeah.
all lived together. Your mom, you, me, Brittany, mommy, my dad, Risha. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We were all raised in the same household when we were younger. So like our bond is like super tight.
Yeah.
So, but it's crazy that me and you have never had that personal conversation about
right
our chocolate journey. So
I was like, crazy, because like growing up I could have used that shit, because I think I did it for myself, and I was able to, you know, draw from my mom, because my mom was like a beast. Like she
right.
she, like, her confidence growing up and seeing her and seeing like the way she wore stuff, and she's very like Afrocentric, and you know, right.
I definitely have never had that conversation with her to let her know, like, yo, you were the main person that I had to look up to with being a chocolate woman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we definitely gotta give props to
our moms
and my mom for that.
Right.
Cheers.
Yay, moms, you did it. You did it, mom. Good job. Good job, mom.
Yeah, dating. Yeah, that was a process. Because every stage I went through stuff. I mean, everybody goes through stages of dating, but I think when you have to throw in the insecurities and stuff like that, I mean, it because of the insecurities, you know, my dating life was very like, went from person to person to person to person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And trying to find a person that really loved me for me, and like, not only just my skin tone, but how small I was. I wasn't a thick girl. I wasn't, you know.
You thick now. You thick now.
Child. Speaking of dating too, like dating in school, what's crazy
oh,
is
God,
the guys that weren't checking for me then
checking for me now.
Were checking for me at
say hey
time.
Hey,
like,
get out my DMs.
So
get off my MySpace.
My husband has always loved chocolate women, so it's not like he was with me because of the trend. My husband is very, very light. So, you know, I feel like, you know, there's no other man that has loved me as much as him, just for me, my chocolateness. Like when we first started dating, he was so amazing. Like, oh my God, your skin is so chocolate, you're so soft. And I'm like, well, what kind of women did you date?
Right, the hard, ashy bitch.
Yeah, but you know, the melanin is just, you know, it drips,
it oozes.
You know, so
look at it oozing.
Yeah, listen.
Look at it oozing.
Yeah. So, social media and TV. And even with makeup.
Oh, like, my God. They had no goddamn shades.
We never had our shades of foundation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now all of these, you know, famous makeup brands are now having like darker shades, you know, of makeup, and having makeup that caters to our skin tones. We never had that.
I think it's when we like apply the pressure. So like we're you know, we're out there, we're you know, vocal about it. And it's like, yo, like this not my shade. Like you
always had to get a lighter shade and then try to blend it,
put some charcoal in it, some
like it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with everything that's happening in the world, you know, Black Lives Matter movement, you know, all of that, I feel like us as Black people, Black women in general, we always have to apply pressure to get things done. And it's sad. It's really sad, you know what I'm saying, that we have to do that. But at this point, we're used to it. At this point, we're used to having to apply pressure to get the stuff that we want, the stuff that we deserve, that to be treated the way that we should. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like with me and you, I feel like all of our lives has been a struggle as a chocolate girl, and we still have to keep applying that pressure.
Yes. Always.
You know, for all other dark-skinned girls out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we think of something, we need to be like, yo, there's not this for us. We're not seeing enough of this on TV or in movies of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really, pay homage to, all of the celebrities and stuff too that, fought for their right to be on a certain show or
right,
have a certain platform for us to be in magazines, us to be, on certain TV shows, like I said, or movies. So, I definitely feel that it's a lot better for us now. Like we're being represented to the full capacity. And I don't even like to say that we're a trend now. I just think that we're now being acknowledged.
I hope. I don't want to say that, but it's giving that, because even with black men, I've never so a lot of my friends that are light skinned or something like that, they be like, oh, I love chocolate men, I love this. Was you really checking for them before?
Thank you.
Would you check them for us before?
Thank you.
I was always down for the chocolate. The chocolate, the better. Give me tar.
Thank you.
And give me white teeth.
Let me just say this. Now that you say that I love that skin tone, super dark.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's beautiful. It is
and it looks so flawless.
Skin isn't beautiful. I'm not saying, we're not saying that at all. But I think, I think the lighter skin tones don't really understand what we went through, and that's why we wanted to do this. Just to let you guys know, it was a struggle for us. I was
it definitely wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy, and not having a lot of representation about us.
That's it is, because that in itself will make you feel insecure.
Right.
You didn't see us on TV. You didn't see us being represented a lot.
You were talking about Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv was the only.
Aunt Viv.
Yeah.
Everybody when I was in high school was like, "Yo, your mom reminded me so much of Aunt Viv."
You
know what I mean? But that was it, really.
That's all you had.
I didn't really see a lot, but they were everywhere.
Kamari just said, and then she was replaced with a light skin. And that was the crazy thing. It's why, not to say that, something didn't happen, but I feel and correct me if I'm wrong, and I think I'm going a little off topic, but I feel we as dark-skinned women get stigmatized as the angry black woman a little more than a lighter skin tone woman would. So I get, you know what? Real quick, Tyrina. Real quick. I know for a fact that I know a lot of light skinned women that are mean as shit. They just mean and they cold and they just they so fucking mean and so fucking rude and shit like that. And not to say that all of y'all like that. I'm not saying that, but I get a lot of light skinned girls that got attitudes, don't want to talk to nobody. This is that, blah blah. But if I was dark skinned and had attitude and wasn't approachable and stuff like that, I don't think that it would be the same. Somebody still trying to chase after me after I already, you know what I'm saying? So I feel and I think that goes back to, slavery times and stuff like that. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
But it was me, and I think my whole thing, my I guess defense or how I combated that was being approachable, being funny, being that person, so you didn't feel like you were I was either trying to be mean to you or anything like that, or give you an attitude, because I I'm not even like that anyway. I'm very approachable, and I get sometimes when people see me and I got my Philly mug on, you know what I'm saying, and it's not on purpose. It's never on purpose. It's just half the time I can't see, or I'm just just chilling and not thinking about nothing. But like they be like, oh, you look mean, like, or you didn't look approachable. I was like, bitch, I am the most approachable. I'm approachable. Approach me now. So like,
I realized that I had resting bitch face until I started working. Cause my coworkers, I would walk by and they would be like,
"What's wrong?"
What's wrong? I'm like,
nothing. I'm good.
So now I'm more conscious of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I mean? In certain, environments. But, everything that you said, like, that's, you're absolutely right. Like when the darker skin tone women, are perceived as angry or whatever, like it just sets a stick for not only all black women, but black women that are our complexion.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to realize that we're representing other darker skinned black women, chocolate black women. So we have to be mindful of, how we represent not only just our people as black people, but also as like our skin tone. Because you're right, like when a light skinned woman becomes as mean and stuff like that, they're given chances, or they're, the stigma isn't like set in stone so much with them.
Right.
But I'm excited to see the, how people feel about this podcast, and how I'm hoping that it actually helps people speak up about their whatever skin
their journey,
and what insecurities they had growing up, with whatever skin complexion that they were, and even being like you said you wanted to talk about hair too. Like I have really thick hair.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Like social media really with natural hair and being dark, like I was like, wow, look at how many other women are like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know about you, Tracy, but I lived a very sheltered life up until college and outside of college. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really, go out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Until I really, like, I went out of the country once when I was a teenager, but like being able to see like other cultures that are like us. I wanted to share real quick when I went to the Dominican Republic. Me and my husband, they thought that we were from there. They're dark over there.
That's wonderful.
They're like my complexion over there, and some are like Rennie too. But like when we went over there, they started speaking Spanish because they thought we were from there.
No habla español.
Yeah, I was like,
un momento.
No. So I think that helped too. Like, wow, there's a lot of other like backgrounds that have our skin tone too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That they don't talk about.
No, and even our hair too.
This is not about, and I want to stress this. This is not about colorism or anything like that. It's us just talking about our shared experience.
Journey. You know what I'm saying? Like light skinned people didn't make us feel a certain way.
No.
Whatever. It was definitely our experiences growing up, our dating, what we saw was represented us. It was definitely few and far between. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like definitely, like I said, it's sad that, being more popular now, definitely helps my insecurities. I still have insecurities now, not so much as when I was younger, but like it definitely helps, and it helps to have podcasts and like have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because we're not the only ones that feel this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
All right. So, really quickly, just to close out, Tyrina, drop those hashtags, those tags, real quick again, so that people
Real quick. I have a podcast with my sister. It's called Let's Get All the Way Into It. Is the handle. Let's Get All the Way Into It. One word. We are on Anchor. We're on Spotify. Make sure that we put my link tree down there. But definitely follow us. We're listen to the podcast sessions that we've already had. People loved it. We talked about it.
I loved it.
Yeah, like we got a really good response to the episodes that we've already had. So definitely check us out. We talk about everything, dating, marriage.
And the fact that, and what I liked about your podcast is that y'all are really real and y'all tell it how it is. So, yeah. And that's one of the things
the only way to be.
Right,
you know,
right.
We gotta be authentic. We gotta share the hard stuff. There's an episode on there where my sister talks about when she came out. Pride Month just passed.
Mm-hmm.
With Pride and everything. So definitely check that podcast out, that session, that episode. But definitely follow us. More to come.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Tracy, for having me.
You're welcome. Let's hug again.
I want to come back. Oh.
But it really looks like we're hugging, and I like it.
I know.
So you guys, make sure that y'all out here watching your butts, and we gonna see you next time. And bye.
Brown girl. Let me hear that right. Brown girl. Brown girl. Yeah. Look, brown girl.